Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Yahweh Bashem Shai Barakathum to you, hopefully elect. And real quick, you know, just going into these agents of chaos. All right, because just watching this with the situation, dealing with the whole ending of the Title 42 and the influx of all these so-called immigrants. All right. Again, man, America's government, man. They're poking its citizens, poking its own citizens to get them to react. Because for one, I saw a video, and I'm more than likely going to post it on my other backup channel. So just be on the lookout for that little one. But basically, out there in Chicago, they were holding some type of meeting or whatever. Basically going into these immigrants, coming through, and basically you see the people's reaction. All right, which it wasn't a pleasant reaction, because again, as I've touched on before, just with America in general and everything that America's going through right now. All right, as weak as this economy is now, millions of people losing jobs, and the crunch on the healthcare system, and all these other things. Here it is. They're bringing all these so-called illegal immigrants over here, and I mean, you can guess who's funding for it, which means, if you could put two and two together, because that's, it pretty much means that, we're going to be paying more out of taxes or whatnot. So not only that, like I said, because, like I said, with the millions of jobs that people are losing their jobs, man, but here it is, more than likely they're going to give a lot of these jobs over to, a lot of those northern tribes that are coming over here. Because, man, Jake, especially Issachar, and a lot of the so-called Mexicans, but a lot of the northern tribes in general, man, they'll work a lot of the same jobs that a lot of these Americans do, making hella good money or whatnot, decent jobs or whatnot. A lot of them northern tribes, man, they'll work the same jobs for less pay, less than half the pay, and that's going to piss a lot of Americans off, and so on and so forth. So, like I said, America's government, man, they're poking the citizens, they're poking at the people, trying to get them to react. Because again, these agents of chaos, Esau, he needs the people to react, so it justifies him bringing in his order, because one thing about Esau, he's about narrative. All right, he's all about narrative, pushing these narratives, and don't be surprised. All right, because I was watching some videos, I was watching some brothers' videos and his videos in general. A lot of those so-called illegal immigrants, man, they were just basically sitting and waiting for this Title 42 to end. And you got the videos where these immigrants, man, they're just sitting on people's lawns and whatnot, and there's nothing nobody can do about them because they're pretty much protected. Biden's administration, he's protecting them, so there's nothing nobody can do about them, and again, it's pretty much just more fuel to the fire. But again, this is what Esau wants. Like I said, he's pushing the people, man. He's pushing their buttons, poking at the people to get them to react. All right, because hey, people are getting fed up, man. People are getting fed up. But again, going back to the Esau and his narrative, don't be surprised, because hey, there's about to be a whole lot of deceit going on, a whole lot of deception, and of course, who do you think they're going to blame? They're going to blame Jake. Mostly, because that's the thing, with these so-called immigrants or whatnot, it's not just Jake, it's not just Northern Kingdom. You got a lot of Moabites setting up shop. They've been setting up shop over here. Over the months, you've been here, or we've been hearing about these reports of these Chinese police stations being raided by the FBI and whatnot. Because pretty much, the so-called Chinese man, they own a lot of American property. They pretty much own America because America's in so much debt, so far in debt. But nevertheless, as we've been talking about going into these sleeper cells, because like I said, it's not just Jake, but you got a lot of these Moabites, and don't be surprised. You're gonna have a lot of the Ishmaelites and so-called Arabs and things of that nature. And again, just don't be surprised, man. If things start happening, right, such as the attacks, all right, certain events, got to choose our words wisely, because it was spiritual. Going back to the brother Mawatazak Bungad, he mentioned he touched on this, he played the clip, and I just so happened to watch that video the other day, or I just so happened to watch that movie the other day, going into I think it's Sicario, the Day of Soldado. And I definitely encourage brothers to watch that movie, or at least the beginning scene. All right, because in the beginning scene of that movie, sure enough, it's going into a situation with the border and immigrants trying to come through, and sure enough, things, took place, such as bombings and things like that, because Esau, he puts what he's going to do before he does it. Just like you got the prophets on the left hand, or excuse me, the prophets on the right hand. They say before what Esau, he does the same thing on the left hand. He likes to say before. So Esau, he puts his, he tells you what he's going to do before he does it. So don't be surprised, because like I said, there's about to be a whole lot of deception going on. Let me get this in the book of Job, chapter 15. Like I said, that's one of Esau's tools. Is that's one of his things. His narrative. So I'm gonna get this in Job chapter 15, because again, watch this situation closely. As I've been saying, hell, even Esau, he's been putting it in his movies, because oftentimes, man, there's always some situation where martial law is declared or something takes place, and oftentimes the narrative being situated out of some situation is based off of some situation that took place out of Texas, as I've mentioned before with the movie Bushwick. All right, again, don't be surprised. All right, don't be surprised if things start happening and things get too chaotic and boom, they got to declare martial law. Something like that. I'm just putting, because you got to be imaginative with this. You got to be creative with your mind. You got to sort of think outside the box with this thing. So I mean, don't be surprised. You can't put anything past Esau. So Job chapter 15, I start at 34. For the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery. They conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit. So, it's getting to a point now with Esau and his narratives, because like the scriptures say, the devil coming down with great wrath because he had but a short time. It's getting to a point with Esau that he's getting sloppy with it, to the point where even his own people is calling him out, his own tongue falling upon himself. All right, his own counsel falling upon himself, because he's getting sloppy, and it's just obvious at this point, But again, going back to Esau and his narratives, we know, as we should know, Esau, he needs the perfect event, the right situation for him to usher in the order. All right, because again, he's going to cause people to react a certain way, and it justifies him in bringing in the order. All right, so Esau, hey, he's preparing something. You know, he as I did the video the live the other day, man. Esau, he's up to something, man. Something's brewing, something's cooking. You know, and there's about to be a lot of violence and just things are about to be different. You know, things are about to be extremely different. Because going back to that movie Sicario, all right, you know, in the beginning scenes, right? Hey, it was business as usual, right? Until those cats, they walked up into the convenience store and boom, you know, they just, you know, they bombed themselves, you know. You see, and to everyone else, hey, they thought it was just going to be another day, you know, just business as usual, right? Well, likewise in real life, in real time, man, you know, just one day something's going to happen, and it's just you know, that's going to be the end of it, you know. So be prepared, man. Terrorist attacks, new diseases and plagues. All right, whatever the case may be, whatever narrative, whatever deceit, deception Esau comes up with, hey, as the scripture say, we're not ignorant of his devices. All right, and even more so, don't be surprised if, because you just had a shooting the other week out there in Texas, you know, and you know the guy, man, you know, what appeared to be Jake, because you know brothers in the truth, primarily that deal with Great Millstone, you know, brothers, we don't get lineups or edges or anything like that. You know, we don't shave or nothing like that. All right, so we look rough around the edges or whatnot, whatever you want to call it. All right, and this particular Jake that you know did the conducted that mass shooting out there in Texas. Hey, you know, you appeared to be a Jake with no lineup, you know, beard, no edges or anything like that. So just stuff like that. Don't be surprised if something happens. More of these attacks, and even more so, they start blaming us. They start blaming brothers, because now the new thing, the new talk has been with the what do you call it? The artificial intelligence, the AI, and what's the shit called, man? To where they can basically, you know, place our faces, right? You know, you might have an agent provocateur. All right, because again, going back to these so-called immigrants that's flooding America, man, flooding Babylon. All right, believe it or not, hey, a lot of these guys are agent provocateurs, man, and you know, you know, just waiting to get the green light to do whatever it is they got to do to execute orders or whatever the case may be. All right, so don't be surprised if you have agent provocateurs. You know, just go up in the supermarket and boom, you know, you know, just blowing shit up, and they placed our faces, you know, to make it, you know, look like, you know, we're some extremist group. You know, don't be surprised, man. You know, hell, even the scriptures tell us, hey, don't be offended when you know you get persecuted. To roughly paraphrase, so you know, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, man. Hell, when Yahushua got jammed up, you know, he didn't, you know, hey, he said, hey, he let it be, you know. He let it be. He didn't try to fight or anything, you know, because he understood it was the word of the Lord. So, likewise us, hey, don't be surprised. Hell, I've been telling my rib and certain people that I'm, you know, close with and whatnot. Hey, don't be surprised, man. You know, you see my face on America's Most Wanted post or whatever the case may be. I told him, don't be surprised. You know, because again, we're coming into a time of a lot of deception, a lot of deception is about to take place, man. A lot of deceit. You know, and again, with that, there's going to be a lot of, like I said, man, just violence and a lot of things going on out here. So let me get this real quick in Psalm chapter 72. In verse 14, it says, he shall redeem their soul from deceit and violence, and precious shall their blood be in his sight. Yeah, because, you know, again, man, when the elect, to those that get jammed up and to those that get martyred, because some of the elect are going to get martyred. All right, hey, you know, that's an honorable thing in the eyes of Yahweh Shema Shai. So it's only going to, you know, Lord willing, confirm our faith even more. Because like I said, going back to Yahweh Shai, he didn't, when he got jammed up and grabbed up and whatnot, he didn't fight back or resist. No, man, he let it happen. All right. because he understood that he was a sacrifice and, you know, he had to be offered up. Well, likewise us. All right. If it's all lot, because some brothers, again, some brothers are going to get jammed up, separated from their families, put in these concentration camps. Hell, some brothers, again, are going to lose their lives. And, you know, hey, we just got to deal with it. We just got to, you know, take it, you know, just like Yahushua, man. So, but nevertheless, hey, the scriptures say the Lord shall redeem our soul, man. He said he shall redeem their soul from deceit and violence. So one way or the other, whatever happens, whatever takes place out here, hey, the Lord, he's got us, you know. He's got us, man. He's got our back. He's going to take care of us. He's going to give the spirit, I believe. He's going to give us a spirit to be able to endure whatever it is that we got to endure, you know. Because they, like the apostles stress, man, a lot of they don't know what's they really don't know what they're involved in, you know. And we're coming into a time where, hey, you know, our faith is going to be put to the ultimate test. Because this thing of ours, man, is more than just wearing fringes and calling yourself an Israelite and cursing out the so-called white man. It's a lot more to that, man. And these jakes are about to find out, you know, especially when the Lord he turns up the heat. You know, a lot of these jakes, man, when these things come, even more jakes are going to be falling out, you know, losing faith, giving up, you know. But again, the elect, they're going to be protected. They're going to be all right through the deception, through the violence. Because again, this is going to be all type of violence out here, man. Again, life-wise, we know it is about to change drastically, man, you know. And again, don't be surprised, Esau, he's going to use a lot of these agent provocateurs and these sleeper cells and whatever the case may be, man, you know, to stir up violence. And, you know, it's just going to be chaos. It's going to be total anarchy out here, man. As the scriptures say, men shall be lovers of themselves. And, you know, like the scriptures talk about the love of many waxing cold. And it's just going to be every man for himself. And again, man, you know, because, you know, a lot of those jakes trying to, and again, it's not just jakes, you know, but just, you know, because again, there's a lot of Moabites and Ishmaelites, Arabs, so-called Arabs, so on and so forth. But mainly with Jake, all right, a lot of them, Jake, they're trying to escape the situation that they're in. They're trying to, you know, flee from where they're at because of all the violence, all right, because, you know, it's bad everywhere, you know, in Mexico. And that's another thing, because, you know, you know, I'm not even going to get into that, but with the cartels or whatnot, what's been reported on, all right, you know, and this is why a lot of people are worried, because, you know, with the cartels and, you know, you know, you pay attention to what's going on out there in Haiti, man. It's bad, man. Out there in Haiti, it's real bad, you know. You see, and again, a lot of people are trying to flee that type of environment. You know, a lot of them are trying to come here, and they don't know America's about to be ground zero for just all hell breaking loose, man. America's about to be the worst place to be. You know, because again, this is what he's trying to do, man. He's trying to stir up this chaos, and, you know, eventually the people are going to lash out. Eventually the people are going to react a certain way. You know, but this is what Esau wants, because it's going to justify him in bringing in his order. I'm going to get this, and I'm going to close it out in Revelation 6. Revelation chapter 6 and verse 4, it says, "And there went out another horse that was red," talking about the red Hebrew Edomites, all right. It says, "And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they shall kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword." So this is what's getting ready to happen, all right. Chaos is about to be unleashed, you know. And Esau, again, the Lord is using Esau to do it. The Lord is using Esau to stir up all this chaos, all this mayhem, all this tumult, turmoil. Because again, America's government, this Biden administration, man, they're poking the people, man. They're poking the citizens, all right, trying to get them to react, you know. So that way, again, it justifies in Esau bringing in this order, the order out of chaos, all right. So, as I've said, as I've been saying, all right, I'm probably going to keep saying, sit back, man. Spiritually speaking, sit back, get your popcorn ready, and enjoy the show, because this is going to get interesting. It's going to get real ugly out here. You know, Lord willing, this was edifying. All praise to Yahweh Shema Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, hopefully elect.